Good evening everyone and welcome back to SDN Tier 1. After a intense round last week at the Japanese Grand Prix, tonight we swapped the flowing corner Suzuka for the neon lights and a raw speed of the Las Vegas circuit. A venue where precision meets pure risk, and Eastbound goes quickest. Eastbound's back as well. Somebody spun just right in front of us. The last time out, it was Fireblades was the star of the show, converted their P2 start into victory with a composed and clinical drive. Christian, who took pole and stunning 126.593, pushed hard all the way to the end, but ultimately had to settle for second place after his contact with Fireblaze in the first corner. Daniel continued his research with a strong P3. Khatikas killed the fastest lap and on his way to fourth as well, and Gabriel completed the top five. Meanwhile, it was another tough evening for Hafnil as well, who were determined to turn things around here in Nevada, Las Vegas. And now we arrive at Las Vegas, one of the most fastest street circuits in the world, and without question, one of the most unpredictable as well. Drivers will be taking on the 6.2 kilometer layout featuring long flat out blasts, heavy braking zone, and that famous 1.2 mile 1.2 mile run down to the strip. I should say kilometers. The speed reaching. Sorry about that. I was just trying to get back in momentum. The speeds reach about 350 kilometers an hour, and the tyres struggle massively in the cold desert night, making grip almost impossible to rely on as well. And the track where confidence is fragile, slipstream powerful, and the race can flip upside down in a single corner. 50% distance, time, ERS discipline, and commitment on the brakes will be absolutely essential for tonight to see who comes out on top in Las Vegas. Fireblaze building momentum, Christie looking to strike back, Daniel rising again, Kevin Zumberg is here as well, and also Eastbound is back. Last season's champion finally makes an appearance after the Australian Grand Prix, which seems like a long time ago. Here he is in P3 in the racing ball. He is finally back, and let's see what the former champion can do, because Kevin Zumberg now is the champion, as we see Colin go for a spin there at the exit of turn 14. I think this is going to be long qualifying, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just check to see if it is a long qualifying, because I'm not really... This is my... it's short, thank God for that. It is short qualifying, so we don't have to sit and wait through, I don't think. I think it's a short qualifying on the screen there. So, it is Fireblaze, who currently occupies first place with a 30.400. I love the exact same lap time. But kicking P2, his former rival and championship rival in Williams and Ferrari, as their battle continues as well. I haven't really done any research because I had to... unfortunately, I just came home very late because I haven't planned anything whatsoever, so this is completely unorthodox for me as well. So we're just going with the flow here. But the standings are, whilst there is a bit of a null on the circuit, the standings are: Kevin is first place, 257 points, Lucas P2 162, Kiki P3 156, Fire 155. So there's a big battle between second and fourth place, separated by 6 points or 7 points there, with Lucas and Fire P2 and P4. Khatikas is P5 106, Christy is P6 with 78 points, Miles P7 57, Ivan P8 with 47, Eric 45, Finn P10 38, Enzo P11 36, Dylan Hogeland P12 33, Leonard 13th with 33, Nick, hello Leonard by the way in the chat, Leonard P3 is P13, 33, Nick P40 with 30, Octavia, Gabriel, Danielle, just Hood, Mike and Parasim. That is the top 20. I'm not going to read every single person's name out here. So, there is our former champion of Eastbound, who took the most wins last season, and he was unchallenged as well. He was a force to be reckoned with every single race as well, took some clinical drives, absolutely outstanding for him last season too. Would he for the win? Well, I don't think so, qualifying down in P9, so you've got to do better than that, my friend, if you want a chance of victory, but I'm sure you can improve. Can you try and get yourself in the 30? Because that seems to be the place to be inside the 30s. There is 10 minutes left to go in this qualifying session here, so we're 8 minutes down and almost halfway through with Fireblades on its own. Let's see who's on a flying lap, shall we? Because we're watching Eastbound who's on an out lap. So remember, Nick's down in the first sector by 0.5 of a second, so I'm presuming he made a mistake somewhere on his current flying lap. The Dutchman looking to improve and excel, because he is a regular top 10 finisher, and he has improved significantly because he struggled majorly last season too. His performances, unfortunately, just overshadowed by bad luck and bad pace, it must be said. I'm going to go on board with Kevin Zumberg, as I always like to go on board with. Here is the legend coming through 3 and 4, taking a very wide entry indeed. Look at that, just the car planted there as well. Sometimes it's so difficult through 3 and 4 because you lose the back end of the car in massive oversteer as we head down towards turn 4. I think somebody's crashed in turn 2. And, oh, Kevin hits the wall. He scrapes the wall just gingerly at the exit of turn 4. Now coming through this slow chicane, turn 5, turn 6, flicks the car in as well, rides the curves very nicely as well. Those curves can catch a lot of people out as well. It can really unsettle the car. But once again, scraping and kiss the wall at the exit of turn 8. Nothing major. Now we're coming towards the high-speed corners on board with Kevin Zumberg, who says, I don't go on board with him on his flying laps, but I am doing so. Turn 11 and 12, here we go. Nice exit. It's so pivotal, so crucial to get a good exit out of here because it leads onto the back straight. The 1.9 kilometre, 1.2 miles. This is where we'll see most of the overtaking happening on this straight, if not all. 340 kilometres an hour, sometimes we see speeds about 350, depends if the driver ahead has got a slipstream. But now coming towards the braking zone we go, misses the apex slightly but rides it through very nicely as well, threading the needle through 14, 12 and 14. Now we're heading on towards the main straight we go. Let's see what lap time Kevin can produce as he makes his way towards the line. What a stunning lap time. It's a 29.944 for Kev in first place. What a flying lap from the mighty Dutchman in first place. Can anybody respond on board with Fireblazer P2 in the Ferrari, as he's currently a couple of hundreds up in the first sector, but not enough to dethrone Kevin Zumberg as he heads down towards turn 12 now, but gets a screwy exit, a bit of wheel spin there as well, and unfortunately lost momentum. He's 1/10 down in that middle sector. Kick is right in turn 3 and turn 4, taking a very wide line, and Eastbrand, where is that? That is turn 14, where I think Franco Colapinto and Alex Albon have had their contact there. So unfortunately, Eastbrand has thrown it in the wall as Daniela goes up to P4. So kudos to him, continuing where he left off back at the Japanese Grand Prix, who finished in P3 with a mighty drive. Daniela hasn't had that form since, I think, the Austrian Grand Prix last season as well. Miles Makis is also headed down towards turn 12. Apologies about the screen there, but he has invalidated, taking too much curb, a bit greedy on the entry there as well, trying to maximise every single part of the racetrack, but he's 2/10 down in the middle sector. Could have got a slipstream from the McLaren, but McLaren knows not to give a slipstream towards his rivals because that could be crucially defined all the time they need then. So Miles unfortunately has to abandon that lap time. Look at Kick absolutely flying as well in that middle sector. He's currently 4/10 up as well. The only driver who's got a front wing in this qualifier session. As we head down towards the breakers, so we go. It's so easy to just misjudge as well, just overdo it. Oh, look at that. Like I said, it could be on the entry, it could be on the exit, but it's so difficult. Those sequence of corners blowing in one another. Now we're coming towards the finish line we go, and it's P2. Look at that. Only just missed out on a provisional pole position then. It is super tight between Kick and Kevin. The 2Ks in first and second place there. Kevin and Kick occupying the front row of the grid here in Vegas indeed. Ricky Yu, the Aston, coming towards the line now. He goes, or stays, shall I say, in P11. Let's see who else is on flying lap. I expect Lucas to do well as well. 6.2, 3.8 miles this circuit length around here in Las Vegas. And now we're coming towards the Las Vegas Strip. Let's see then how he does on his lap time. Currently down in P13 with a 32.995. Obviously, that's not really representative to his pace. And let's see, can he make it up now coming towards the heavy breaker? So here we go. Just fed enough throttle very nicely as well. No signs of the rear end complaining. As now we head our way down towards the straight we go. Let's see what Lucas could do. And unfortunately for him, it's not good. It's P10. So Lucas is well off the pace there in P10 with a 31.157. And he seems to be struggling around this circuit, which is very notoriously difficult as well. But Kevin Zumberg, there he is in the McLaren, as he usually is. The man with the most wins this season. His last win was at the Brazilian Grand Prix. Kevin Zumberg on an absolute charge here in Vegas. Every time he appears, he's always the dark horse. He's always the man to be contended with as well. Every single driver who sees the name Kevin Zumberg always fears him. He's got about 8 or 9 wins this season as well. Got the most wins out of anybody. Apologies, Kevin. I know you back in Belgium when I said he got 3 wins. He did call me out on that one, but that's because I haven't done any research because I hadn't had the time, unfortunately. But at least I'm here. And at least Eastbrand's here as well. Where has AMS Eastbrand been? He hasn't been here for such a long time, but it's nice to see him back, you know, old faces, old champions returning here as well. Kick is a champion, Fireblaze is a champion, Eastbrand is a champion, Kevin Zunneberg is also a champion as well, and I'm pretty sure there is one more person who is a champion here in SDN. I don't want to miss anybody out, of course, so let's see who that is. Mike, yeah, it is. Mike was the Season 3 champion of SDN. Fireblaze, two-time champion here in SDN, first and second season. Kick was the Season 4 champion, and Eastbrand is the Season 5 champion. And this man, Kevin Zunberg, is the Season 6 champion. Ain't nobody beating him. Let's see how he does. Locks up on the inside, massive lock-up as well, for good measure, turn 1. And also has a bit of oversteer as well, unfortunately for him. So his lap time is pretty much ruined, I dare say, unless he can find the time. Magical Kevin, let's see. He's one of those drivers who can definitely find the time, but has he backed off? It looks like he's turned his EMS off. So I don't think that... Let's have a look. Once again, bangs with the wall of the exit of turn 4. He's down by 600 of a second. Despite the lockup, despite the slip-up into towards turn 1, he's still got some good pace. I thought he would have backed off this lap and gone for another one, gone for another cool-down lap and go at it again. There was a McLaren in the way, his teammate, but it wasn't really in the way, but it is still a distraction, your preferential vision going towards turn 1, which can lead to distraction because he's in your eye line, he's in your eye, he can distract you very easily as well. Headed down, oh, that's definitely a mess up there, and hits the wall too. Kevin spins. Yeah, just overstepping it as well. He flicked the car into it. He's going backwards. Is he trying to disqualify himself? Go from last to first challenge try. Yes, he is. Ah, Kevin. This is going to definitely spice things up. I'm not quite sure if he's raging right there, but he always joins my streams. I can trust him to join my streams, and let's see what kind of details he gives. Kevin, was that purposeful or not? Or did you mean to do that? Did you get angry and decide to... Yeah, we know Kevin's a composed person, so I don't think he's the type of person to, when he makes a mistake, just lose his head and cool. So Kick is on provisional pole with a 29.967. With Fireblaze half a second back, Happy Meal half a second back as well. Still searching for that lucrative first win of the season for Happy Meal. He's been beaten back at the Dutch GP in Silverstone. Yep, Kevin Silberg says he wants to start last. By the way, Kevin, sorry, let me say that again. Hope you're doing well, man. It's nice to see you back as well. So it looks like both Williamses are giving each other a slipstream. So, but Lucas, I dare say, needs a slipstream, not Kevin, not Kick, because Kick is well ahead, secured by 0.5 of a second. Daniela, let's go on board with him to see how he does. Het staat goed met mij, dankjewel, jongen. How was your dag? What have you vandaag gedaan? Oh, Daniela, unfortunately, I think. Oh, he's retired on track. Don't do that, Daniela. Don't do that, because there's still people on their flying lap. So don't retire on the track, mate. But I don't think nobody else is behind him to catch him up. So luckily for them, they won't encounter the slow moving Haas before he gets fully disqualified and out of the way. Ramon, AMS Ramon in the McLaren, teammates with Kevin Zumberg, both sharing the last row of the grid. But let's see what the Dutchman can do. Is he the leader of AMS? Is it Ramon? I'm not quite sure. But here we go down in towards the breaker zone. Oh, look at that, taking too much curb on the entry, and unfortunately has been disqualified. And AMS Eric in 14th place hasn't set a lap time yet either. So looks like he's also struggling. AMS Eric is also a handy driver as well, can be a podium contender, but hasn't had a win since Monza last season, I don't think, has Eric. That's pure memory as well. Oh, Ramon's retired at turn 1, so that's him done and dusted in this qualifying session. But every single driver then is out there on the circuit, and let's see what will happen here as well. Kicked down the first letter by 0.004 of a second, so just marginal. The Williams hits the wall at the exit of turn 4, I presume. That is Lucas, because we just went to a ball kick, didn't he? So yeah, it was Lucas. But where is Fireblaze in the Ferrari? They're just pretty much close to each other on the track. I think Eastbrand's retired at turn 12. He is out of qualifying, so I think he misjudged his braking point, and unfortunately he is out of qualifying. As we see Happy Meal then flick the car in towards turn 12. Car responded really well. Like I said, very important and crucial to get the exit, because it leads to the back straight where DRS will happen. Here we are with the DRS wide open for Happy Meal as he grabs a bit of slipstream from the Williams there, who backs off. So I think that's Kick who has backed off on his flying lap. Yes, it is. So unfortunately, Kick has made a mistake somewhere on his lap time. Happy Meal was so tantalizingly close towards the wall. Here comes Happy Meal, the deployment's been used. Eric P2, here comes Happy Meal, goes up into P2, misplaces him, or displaces him, shall I say. Fireblaze goes up into P4, stays P4, and Hatzakas is P7. 2/10 up in the middle sector, could be P3. Let's see what the Red Bull Dutch driver could do. As he crosses the line, he does go P3 by 0.05 of a second there. So close between those guys in the mixed for pole position. Miles Makis concludes the top 6 there as well, so another superb qualifying there for Miles Makis, who could have got a podium back at the Japanese Grand Prix, but pitted, and I'm not sure if it was due to the tyre wear being too significant, and therefore he couldn't hold on. But Kevin, do you think you can go from last to first if you're still in the chat? So both McLaren's Damon, unfortunately, couldn't get the lap time he needed either, so he is out of this qualifying session. But we move on to the race, and it should be an exciting 25-lap race around here in Vegas, providing there's going to be like plenty of chaos, potentially safety cars as well. Colin has got a 5-place grip penalty for collision with Eric. We didn't quite see why, what the cause was that, what the cause. Let me speak English. What the cause it was. That didn't even make sense either. I don't know, not quite sure. I'm struggling to speak English. But yeah, did you ask me? What did I just? Did you ask me something, or Raman? I asked you something, Kevin. Do you think you can go from last to first? I love the confidence, Kevin. Love it indeed. Kevin's got the most wins. I think the only time he hasn't won was at the Australian Grand Prix, and where else was it? He didn't win last week or 2 weeks ago because he wasn't here. I think every time he's raced, he has won except Australia, if I'm correct. And that's just pure memory as well. I haven't done any research, like I said, because I only just came back from where I was. So don't quote me on that. But I definitely know Kevin's got the most wins out of anybody. Spectacular Dutchman. Of course, I'm going to glaze Kevin, because he was there for me at Lelystad, and I fully appreciate it as well. So definitely got full support for Kevin. Obviously, I can't be biased towards anybody. Kicks left the session, unfortunately. Is there a lobby restart? Let me check. Obviously, I can't speak Dutch. Well, I can, but not too good. So I'm not quite sure if there's a lobby restart or not for some unknown reason. It's quite funny, isn't it? Like, you've got an English commentator for Dutch League, predominantly Dutch. This one. I'm pretty sure you don't mind having an English commentator. Kick is joined back, but here we go then. The light's about to go off. The pole sitter is not here. And we are underway here in Las Vegas, and you surely think Happy Meal should get the jump, but Hatzakas goes up into first place. What a double overtake. Oh, Mercedes spins as well. That's Happy Meal gets tagged by somebody in the background there too. Fireblaze goes up into P3. Happy Meal's lost a lot of places. There's contact as well. Kick has dropped down the order as well for good measure. He's fallen backwards into P9. The pole sitter having a horrendous start due to his internet connection issues. Here we go, down intervals, turn 4. Let's see what happens then. Side by side. Here comes the racing bull up the inside. That's his teammate Eastbrand, who's tried to sneak with the inside but couldn't quite make the move. Ramon's gone up into P16, unfortunately. Kevin's in P13, right at the back of the RP driver. Unfortunately, my thing's been glitched, so I can't switch to it. There we go, then side by side. And the Aston Martin there losing losing momentum, shall I say. Kick has gone up into P10. Is Kick back? I'm not quite sure. My thing's been glitched, but here we go, on board with Kevin Zumberg, the man that started down in last place, trying to make an overtake on the Aston Martin. He's boxed in. He's on the hard compound tyres. He's boxed in. With a big contact. He's going to be very careful not to make contact with somebody. The Aston Martin loses traction, and Kevin goes through. Wow, Hatzakas, mega launch, mega start. He's up into first place, searching for his first win since the Spanish Grand Prix. I'm losing my bearings. Hold on 1 second. There we go. on board with the Racing Bull drivers. We are so close together indeed as we head down towards the breakers over for the first time in this race. Is going to be any contact? Oh, there is contact. Kevin Zumberg getting squashed there. Look at that, 3 abreast. It's not going to end well as the RP and the Aston Martin spin. Kevin gets away unscathed. And that was a bit of a dodgy, risky move there for the Aston Martin, who made contact in towards Kevin as the 2 pad drivers, first and second place. These 2 got a puncher back at the British GP in Silverstone. Now the pad players on first and second place. What can they do? Oh, did somebody hit the wall at the exit of turn 3 there? I'm not quite sure. Eastbrand now rides the back of Miles Mackins, looking to try and produce an overtake. The former champion in SDN last season, season 5, is trying to make a comeback drive and see what he could do. I'm not quite sure where he's been, but I'm glad he's back because he certainly has been missed for the champion of SDN from season 5. Kevin Zumberg is up into P11 then, so the Dutchman progressing forwards as he needs to do. He's one of the only drivers on the hard compound tyres. Ramon's just pitted to go on the hard compound tyres, but Kevin, I think, is the only one that started with the hard compound tyres. So here we go, the kick, side by side. This is a risky move. Is he waiting for the DRS? He's surely going to wait now for the DRS because that would be a risky move, diving down the inside towards turn 12, but he backs out for the time being. Here comes AMS Eric in the slipstream of Khatterkas, pulls out with the DRS wide open. And what about Fireblades? What will he do in the Ferrari? Will he make it 3 abreast? He's in the middle of them both as Eric swoops through, cuts to the right hand side and takes the lead of the Grand Prix. Fireblades, however, moves up into P2 and Khatterkas got swamped. Expect that as well, because the slipstream and the DRS is mighty powerful. So expect those guys to be swapping back and forth every single lap, and this is what we love about the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Yes, it's boring in real life, as here comes the Racing Bull down the inside. That's AMS Eastbrand. Happy Meal, what are you doing? Don't do that. That's a very late move indeed. Look at this now, it's getting messy. Almost 3 abreast between the Racing Bulls, and now Eastbrand trying to go up the inside as there's contact with Miles Mackis and Eastbrand too for good measure. But Khatterkas will not be happy. That was a bit audacious, optimistic, I dare say. A day late and $1 short. That's not my quote, that's Martin Brunner's quote. Also, obviously, most of you don't watch Sky Sports F1 as you're in the Netherlands. That's the quote that somebody else uses there in the commentary box. But here we go. What's going to happen down? Here comes, sideways approach in towards 6, in towards turn 7 and turn 8. And Lucas there trying to get past Miles Mackis is now getting a bit iffy between those guys. Every single driver desperate to get past, but usually you want to settle into a rhythm in the first stint, but every single driver going for glory, going for broke around here in Las Vegas, puts it all on red here in Nevada. As we exit turn 12, the Sauber's disconnected from the DRS tray. Kevin Zumberg is further back. How is Kevin going to do? He's about to make his overtake on the kick Sauber. Here we are on board with him, but we'll go on board Fireblades first. Here comes Fireblades on Eric. That's an easy pass with the DRS wide open, and he swoops past the Alpine driver as Kevin Zumberg now moves up into P9 ahead of Woodsy. Or Woodsy, shall I say. As Woodsy gets out of shape there. Oh, we almost lost the car again. Massive slap oversteer. The car is not complying at all. Just reluctant to turn in. Is that him making a mistake? That is Damon, unfortunately, going for a spin. AMS Eastbrand on the back of the Mercedes driver of Happy Meal. Happy Meal attempts the dive bomb down the inside in towards turn 1, but unfortunately for him, could not pay it off, had to stay behind, and now fighting for his life to stay within the DRS range. The top 3 consisting of Fireblades, Eric and Khatterkas. First, second and third place. Kick is 1 second behind his teammate Lucas, so he's got himself back in the DRS range. And Woodsy there, struggling for traction, struggling for pace, struggling for grip, and struggling to stay inside the top 10. He's under major threat. Kick. Unfortunately, my man has left the session, and he'll not be happy and pleased with that one. So the pole sitter did a mega job, but unfortunately his internet said no, and he's out. Not the first time that's happened either. I remember him leaving back in the Silverstone Grand Prix. Happy Meal now struggling with traction at the early stage of this race then, so the car not complying. It doesn't seem to be working well in his favour at all, and he can be under massive pressure from the guys behind too. He's lost that lucrative 1 second, all important 1 second range DRS. He's been disconnected from this DRS train. Here comes Eric on Fireblades, a simple pass for first place. As Khatterkas there goes a bit deep in the breaker zone, as we saw Eastbrand in the background also overtake Happy Meal as well. Miles Mackis right to the back of Happy Meal too. Happy Meal is really struggling now for traction for grip. And Miles Mackis moves through. It's a bit of contact too for good measure. As Miles Mackis now moves up into P5, but Happy Meal will he dive at the inside? Not on this occasion, it seems. Both Kicksabers there swapping places. Woozy is outside the top 10, unfortunately. Kevin Zumberg is 3 seconds away. So, unfortunately, at this stage in the race, he doesn't have the pace, but he should have the pace later on with the hardcore powered tyres. So, where is he? He's down in P8 on the hardcore powered tyres. He's 2.6 seconds back, so a little bit far behind. But does he have the raw pace to try and catch up? Wait, what's the problem is that he's losing a lot of time, whilst his teammate is struggling to stay on the track. Unfortunately for him as well, as Daniela is in the pit on the hardcore powered tyre. Quite an early pit stop for Daniela. Is that a front wing change? We don't know because unfortunately we caught a bit too late. Oh my goodness me, what is that? Yeah, not what you want to see whatsoever, as Colin gets spun around by the Kicksabber. Just a simple misjudgment from the Kicksabber. Back on board with the top 3 then. A high-speed chase for first place on the Las Vegas Strip there, as we see Fireblaze then right as the back at Eric, as once again those 2 trade places for first and second place. They could trade places all they want as well, first and second, as long as they do it sensibly and smartly as well, not go side by side in the breaking zone, because they could just control the pace. The guys behind are stuck in a big DRS train, whilst Fireblaze there could just hold the pace and keep it nice and tidy. Don't need to risk anything at all. Just make sure they swap places at the right time at the right... Just bear with me for a few seconds. I will be here, but I've got to sort something out very quickly. So just bear with me for a few seconds. I'll still keep an eye on these guys. Don't worry, I am back now. Had to sort that very quickly, but we just saw Eric attempt to dive down the inside, or half a move, trying to put Fireblaze off course, but the Dutchman would not be phased by that one at all, as Hatikas looked to try and take advantage on Fireblaze, but couldn't do so, and has to stay behind him for the time being. Then Hatikas winning in a solid 3rd place there as well for Red Bull. We know he's a challenger and a contender for the podiums at times when he's on the pace. Sometimes he has been struggling too, back in Japan especially, not suiting the Red Bull driver. It's understandable, of course, because he is in the pad, and it is quite difficult in the pad too around Suzuka, but he's doing a mega job so far. Is Hatakas got his old rival behind him, which is East Prime. We saw those two have some excellent battles before in the past. And look at this, top 8 within the DRS train. Poor Kick, who unfortunately has been abandoned and left behind in P9 and had to deal with Mummy Nick in P10, so he's 9.6 behind. So the only hope for him, the only miracle, is a safety car. But we know that the chance of a safety car around Vegas is quite high given the difficulty of this circuit again. So we exit turn 12 with Fireblaze leading the race ahead of Eric and Hatagas, Eastbrand and Miles Mackis, both Racing Bulls running a solid race. Here we go then. I think Fireblaze is about to be swamped on the straight because Eric and Hatagas have got the DRS. This is extreme. Through goes Eric, and Hatagas is side by side with Fireblaze, but no, he can't get past. Fireblaze defends the inside line and stays in P2 then. I don't think he wants to give up track position to Hatagas, knowing that the DRS is so powerful, but Fireblaze has a messy exit, and now here comes Hatagas on the back of the Ferrari driver, but doesn't take advantage and stays behind him. Here comes Eastbrand, swapping lines there, going up the inside in towards turn 1. Can he make the move? Let's see the two old rivals in battle. Eastbrand has the inside line, but can Hattikas fight this back? No, he can't. Eastbrand with a sensational move. It's up, it's a P3. Meanwhile, Fireblaze is struggling to stay within the DRS range of Eric in first place there. And with that slip up in towards turn 12, 13 and 14, that could have been hefty indeed for the Dutchman. But luckily for him, it hasn't. Oh, somebody is dropping down the order there as well. So what's going on in the background? It seems the Alpine Damon has dropped down the order. Yellow flags are circulating around this track as well. But you know what? We've been racing here in Vegas, and we have not even talked about what happened as well at Las Vegas. Fireblaze once again struggling to stay with the DRS range whilst the yellow flags are illuminated on the circuit once again. But did Fireblaze get himself a DRS range? Let's have a look right now. Come on, Jamie, get back on it. There we go. Fireblaze did not get himself within that lucrative, important 1 DRS range, and Hattikas is on the back eastbound going in towards the heavy braking zone. But Fireblaze fighting for his life now to try and stay within the DRS range. The pit stops will be imminent soon, and Hattikas, talk about pit stops, Hattikas has done it. Lap 9, lap 10 is the norm to pit, and he's going to go for the early undercut, and let's see if it pays dividends. It is the mediums to hards, of course. No need for a two-slow strategy, so he rejoins on a new set of boots and looking to perform the undercut. Great pace, by the way, for Hattikas, because we know that pad drivers struggle when it comes to tyre wear on this game, and he's done such a superb job of keeping up the pace, keeping it consistent. Doesn't seem to be struggling with rear tyres, rear traction as well. The car seems to have enough stability to try and keep in control. So let's see what he does then on the hard compound tyres. Ideally, should get the undercut on Eric, Fireblaze, Eastbrand, Miles Mackis, Happy Meal, considering they're in dirty air, and on all medium compound tyres, Hattikas rejoins in clean air, and on new hard compound tyres. But guess who's in the frame? Guess who's in the picture? Good old Kevin Zunderberg in P6. Come on, Jamie, what are you doing? Experienced commentator struggling to find his bearings. Let's not forget about Lucas. He's still doing P7 despite a tricky qualifying. And here comes Fireblaze once again with the DRS open. K1 applied, and he should be able to make this move with ease. So despite almost losing the DRS, he now takes the lead of the Grand Prix. But I wonder, will we see a mad dash in the pit lane to get off those midi compound tyres and put on a set of hard compound tyres now? Because the pit stops are imminent, and they the Racing Bull driver getting all out of shape here as well out of the exit turn number 14. But let's see if anybody decides to dive in the pit lane. Yes, we do. We see some pitters, Happy Meal and Lucas. And Miles Mackis is right behind Eastbound. Let's go on board to see what happens going towards turn 1. The Racing Bulls have come close for comfort, but luckily this time no contact is made. I'm surprised that one Racing Bull has stayed out there, which means one of them is going to stay out there longer, obviously, because they can't double start. Well, they can double start, but obviously you're not going to do that because you're going to lose a hefty amount of time. And you don't want to be doing that as well around here in Vegas. So Hattikas, ideally you think, should get the undercut. There he is, rejoins well in front of the Mercedes driver, which indicates and connotes that he will definitely rejoin ahead of the leaders when they pit. As Woozy's in the pit lane, he struggled as well, as he almost lost control of the car heading towards the pit lane. Here we go then. It is a Dutch DRS train here, consisting of Fireblaze, Eric, Eastbound, Miles Mackis and Kevin Zunderberg. You ideally think that these guys should respond now. Don't want to leave it too late unless they're trying to build a tyre offset and hunt them down with better tyres. The undercut's powerful, but sometimes having a tyre offset can be quite dividends as well for your race, can pay dividends for your race as well. And Kevin Zunderberg now should come into play with those hard compound tyres. New hard compound tyres attached to the McLaren car as we see him with the DRS open. Here comes Eric on Fireblaze. He goes back up into P1, and we should see some of them dive off into the pit lane. Don't want to leave it too late, of course. It is a short distance as well, with only 25 laps around here in Las Vegas. Same as Saudi Arabia, same lap counter. Obviously not distance. But here we go. Then the top three are in the pit lane of Eastbrand. And Miles Mackis is obliged to stay out there as well. Don't want to do... Oh my goodness, but I thought that Fireblaze or Eric got a 10-second time to be spinning the pit lane because Raymond Ramon had picked himself up a corner cutting penalty, and I thought that one of those two picked himself up a penalty for spinning the pit lane. So luckily it didn't. Otherwise, that would be a race killer. So, where's my man, Khatikas? He's up into P3. There he is. Then Jens is up. It's the third place. But the problem is, though, he has a 2-lap tyre delta towards Eric Happy Meal on the Fireblaze. And we know that the tyre difference makes a huge difference indeed in this game. And Happy Meal has undercutted Fireblaze, but for how much longer? Because the Dutchman is right behind the Dutchman as we head down in towards turn number 4. I'm the only Brit in this session. So, Miles Makis has lost the DRS towards Kevin Zumberg because those tyres are well past their limits. And unfortunately for him, I can't find the grip he needs to try and hunt down Kevin Zumberg for first place. The gap is 2 seconds now, so he keeps on extending the gap. But we all know Kevin Zumberg won't pit until later, about lap 14, 15, 16, around that period of time. And expect a mighty charge from Kevin Zumberg, the man that's going from last to first. But can he do it though? Because these guys are super quick, super rapid. It's going to be a massive challenge trying and hunt these guys down. Fireblaze does get the move on Happy Meal. Happy Meal doesn't have the DRS, so playing very smartly here, allowing Fireblaze to overtake him so he can get the DRS to the back of Eric, and therefore Happy Meal can get the DRS to the back of Eric, Fireblaze. So playing very smart in this race, as Miles Makis does eventually pit onto a new set of the hardcore power tyres, and he'll drop massively as well. The pace difference just dropped off significantly, and he's been undercutted by these guys massively as well. He's down in towards P8 and out of this DRS train, unfortunately. Where's Kick? P10, and has no hope in hell to get back up here. That's every single gamer's worst nightmare, is internet and lagging issues. So Khatikas then is essentially the leader of this DRS train, the leader of this pack, but the guys are closing in at a rate of knots because Eric is already a second behind his teammate, his rival Khatikas in P2. Eric, however, has driven a stunning race in P3, looks to try and get his first win since last season. And what a job this Dutchman has done as well. Qatar and Silverstone, he picks up that puncher. Did he get the podium in Qatar? I'm not quite sure. Let me just have a quick look to see if he did or not. But his race pace has definitely improved since the last few races, which bodes well for the last couple of races as well, to make it more interesting, more spicy. The championship's been wrapped up, but we've still got some places to secure elsewhere in the championship. So he has closed up towards the back of Khatikas. Khatikas will be vulnerable by doing the undercut. A bit of lag as well for good measure for Eric, but he's dropped Fireblaze quite dramatically as well, and now he's under massive threat from Happy Meal behind. So let's see if Happy Meal can try to take advantage as we head down towards turn 1. Quickest on the track as well, but not going to make the move for the time being. Eric looks really comfortable right now in the Alpine. We can see the understays in Carlton there with the dirty air he's suffering behind the Red Bull driver, affecting the aerodynamics of the car. We'll try to see when Eric's last podium was. Finished P4 in Silverstone despite having a puncher. But Eric, when was his last podium? Surely had one this season. As we've got Ricky Yu, who spun out of turn number 14, unfortunately, as he dives off in towards the pit lane. There is 12 laps left to go in this race. Does Kevin Zumberg have enough time to get himself in? Well, obviously, does he have enough time or laps, let's say, to try and hunt down the guys on the really compound tyres? Because it doesn't look promising right now. He's on the same straight as the Khatikas is. He needs some blistering pace, some qualifying lap times to hunt down these guys on the hardcore power tyres while he diverts to the mediums. So I'm not quite sure if the hard speed strategy is going to work for him. But who knows what could happen. A safety car will pay dividends for him if his teammate can cause one. No, I'm only joking. I don't think his teammate would do that, of course. But Las Vegas, both McLarens got disqualified, didn't they, due to skid plank being very, very thin. And what an absolute blunder as well from both McLaren. Well, I say both McLarens, the team. Because Lando Norris could have the championship wrapped up, but it's going down to Abu Dhabi this Sunday at 1 PM, local time UK. But what an absolute mess McLaren. What a predicament. What a conundrum McLaren have found themselves in. Because they could have the championship wrapped up, but they keep adding extra pressure. They keep shooting themselves in the... Sorry, I just dropped something. They keep shooting themselves in the foot all the time. You would have thought they would have learned. Not just this season, but last season too. It's like they can't stand the pressure and make very bad decisions indeed. But at least they have a bit of flexibility, and hopefully Kevin Sundberg has a bit of flexibility, whatever that means. You can always rely on flexibility, of course. I don't think Hansi Kass has got any flexibility because of the tyre wear he has. Well, the tyres he's got on 2 lap holder hard compound tyres. And we know that 1 or 2 laps can make a huge difference indeed. It can make a huge impact. And now, here comes Eric for P2 with the DRS wide open as he retakes the lead once again. Or should I say, the net lead once again. As here comes Fireblaze as he flies past his compatriot and he goes up into P3. Hansi Kass dropping backwards. He's on the oldest tyres out of this group. Miles Makis is 3.4 seconds back and he's just going to approach turn 14 right now. Can he get himself back in this battle with the tyre offset he has on the Racing Bull, or has he lost that advantage? As we head down in towards turn 1 we go. Happy Meal once again though, dangerously close towards Hansi Kass. Those two make contact a few laps to go, but Happy Meal seems to have better pace, better grip in comparison towards the Red Bull driver. The Red Bull driver is struggling there in a predicament, and now here comes Happy Meal, who will go past him in towards turn 4 and moves up into P4. Oh, lost traction, and will Hansi Kass fancy a move on the Mercedes? Nope, he can't. A bit too far back for good measure as he stays behind him for the time being. Eric is gaining on Kevin Sundberg at a rate of knots. The gap was 12 seconds at one point, now it's 10.4. How long is Kevin going to go? He surely can't go too long because he won't have laps. He won't have the laps to try and hunt these guys down. So unfortunately his strategy is not paying dividends whatsoever. And the only thing left for Kevin at his disposal is a safety car. He desperately needs one, but I don't think one will come out as his teammate is in the pit lane to get a 10-second penalty, unfortunately for him. But whenever Kevin decides to pit, he needs qualifying laps. Every single lap to try and hunt these guys down, but I don't think it will happen, you know. Well, look at this then. We've got some swappers in the field. We've got the Mercedes defending as we see Eastbrand goes up into P5. Unfortunately, Hansi Kass there. Oh, what's happened? Is that a safety car? Safety car has been deployed. A safety car has been deployed. And what has happened? It is Boosie who has caused the safety car at turn 5. Wow, Kevin Sundberg's dream has just came true. A gift has just presented itself to him. These guys are not going to pit. Hansi Kass is. Why not? Do you know what? Safety car coming out in Las Vegas with a sprint race towards the end. Mixture of tyre compounds. This safety car has truly galvanised this race and will truly spice things up now. We are in for an absolute thriller towards the end of this race. Hello, Seam. How are you doing, mate? Well, the plans, the scheduling have all turned on its heads now because the trajectory of this race has completely flung around and Kevin Sundberg has been gifted this safety car. Goed met jou. Het staat goed met mij, dankjewel jongen. But this safety car has really spiced things up now, and Kevin's chances of going from last to first are now opening up and becoming more likely indeed for him. Let's see if he galvanizes from this. Let's see if he takes advantage of this big opportunity he has. Hoe was je dag, Seam? If you understood me there. My Dutch isn't really that spectacular, but I know some basics. I presume you're not talking to you. We Benya. Yeah, that's definitely not me. We Benya means who are you? He is Happy Meal. Dutch isn't too bad. Could be better. I haven't studied for a long time. Who's that going towards the pit? That's Eastbrand. Well. Let, I'm not quite sure about the strategy, though, but let's see if it pays difference for him. How many places will he lose? He will lose one towards, or lose two towards Eastman, Kick and Muminick. By the way, Kick is absolutely thrilled with the safety cars came out because he's been brought back into play, back in contention for this race. Kevin Zumberg is up to P4, and he's now rubbing his hands together, knowing there's a victory in sight. Unlike McLaren in Las Vegas, in Qatar, Kevin Zumberg is pitted at the right time under the safety car, and he is becoming the more likely contender to win this Grand Prix. He's been on the hard compound tyres, so he's done medium, hard, so he's gone for the harder strategy. So you don't get two sets of medium compound tyres when you choose the harder allocation. Don't go anywhere, guys, because it could be a hectic end. We thought that Eric, Fireblaze and Happy Meal, those guys would have had the chance. Ivan, jonga. Hope you're doing. Kevin for the win. Let's go on his best track as well. Of course, Ivan and Kevin. Do you know what? It was McLaren 1-2 wasn't it last season? It was Ivan and Kevin who won the Las Vegas Grand Prix last season. 1-2 for McLaren, but I don't think it'll be a 1-2 this time because Ramon is out of the race. Mijn dag was niet verder. Ik had 3. Yeah, I'm struggling to pronounce those words. I understand a little bit, but not too much. Somebody got a puncher last season, didn't they? I'm going to go back to work, mate. Expresia later. Expresia later, tot ziens, jongen. Hoe was je dag? My dag was goed, dankjewel, jongen. Niet slecht. Safety car is in at the end of this lap. So we'll go back to English now. And we'll see what will happen towards the end of this race. But Kit got a puncher last season, didn't he? Kit had a puncher in the rain. It was raining last season because I wasn't here because I think I went to a party when, yeah, I did. Milan Langer was commentator for this race. I went to a party and it was a mega party. Oh, Racing Bull just hit the back of somebody. You're underway for the safety car restart. Kevin Zumberg's under pressure from Lucas right behind, who seems to have picked up a penalty. But down the inside goes Miles Mackis on Hatikas side by side. Once again between the two Racing Bull and the Red Bull. But Hatikas has the inside line, but can he complete the move all the way around the outside? As we head down towards the second straight we go. Wheel to wheel between the Racing Bull and the Red Bull. Here comes Happy Mill on the back of Kevin Zumberg. Will he go down the inside? No, he doesn't, but Kevin Zumberg takes away P3. As this battle still commences between the Racing Bull and the Red Bull. Miles Mackis, will he get ahead? Will he just try and get ahead of his rival? We go with side by side now in towards this chicane we go. Miles Mackis finally completes the move. He goes up into P6 ahead of Hatikas, but Kevin Zumberg is on an absolute charge, and Lucas gets out of shape there in P5 as well. He's under massive pressure from Miles Mackis right behind as we go on board with Kevin Zumberg, who is in a prime pivoted position to win this Grand Prix. There is 7 laps to go in this race, and Kevin Zumberg is an absolute charge right now because he's right behind Fireblaze. He's behind Eric, the two ahead of him on the older hard compound tyres. They are vulnerable. They can't do anything about Kevin's relentless pace. Playing wise to it, Kevin Zumberg does not go for the move just yet, waiting for that DRS to open on the next lap, side by side towards the breaker. So it's going to get a bit messy down here in towards 14, but they keep it nice and clean. But Kevin Zumberg side by side with Fireblaze on the main straight we go, and Kevin Zumberg takes away P2. Will he fancy P1? Is it 2 for 1? Eric's defending the inside line, and Kevin has nowhere to go. Fireblaze back around the outside, no way, but he goes very deep, and through goes Kevin Zumberg. They both go deep, and he goes around the outside to take the lead of the Las Vegas Grand Prix. What a move! Patience was king. Eric messed up. Fireblaze messed up in the breaker zone. They both went deep. And Kevin said, "Donkey Volyonger, I will go through and take away P1." And he hits the wall too for good measure, but luckily hasn't broken his wing, as many people have been kissing the wall gingerly or harshly going in towards turn 4. Wow, Kevin the mighty goat, the dark horse in league racing, the esports driver, the PSGL F1 driver, or PSGL F2 driver, I dare say, is up into first place. This season's champion in first place, last to first. What can you say? Yes, he got gifted by a safety car, but sometimes you need luck to go your way. many people say, many people be very frustrated at his first place, but going to be the right place at the right time. And Kevin Sundberg was definitely in the right place at the right time to upset people's day. Fireblaze is right behind Eric, goes back up into P2. So this is a fight for the podium. Who will claim the final spots on the podium between Happy Meal, Eric, and Fireblaze? Surprisingly, these two, or these four, shall I say, on the hardcore power tires, newer hardcore power tires, are not really gaining. They should do, ideally, but they've been scrapping so much, they've been costing themselves and lose a heap of time towards the guys on the older hardcore power tires. It's Fireblaze, Eric, and Happy Meal going to survive on the podium with the guys behind on newer hardcore power tires and have the advantage and have the grip as well. So let's see if Mos Makis, Khatikas, Kick, and Lucas can utilise their newer tyres to good advantage and good effect and get themselves up the order. 5 laps left to go, and Kevin Sundberg in a familiar position in P1, checking out as he always does. And what a drive from the Dutchman. Oh, that was Makis there, up the inside, in towards turn 12. That was executed a superb move as Happy Meal just loses traction there at the exit of the corner. Now here comes Khatikas as he wants to go through very quickly as well. He can't afford to be messing around with Happy Meal because he knows he's on older tyres, so he needs to get past him quickly. Did have the DS the back of Mos Makis. Then Mos Makis might get swapped to the straight as there's the two of them side by side, one on the left, one on the right, as they're in the middle, and they might meet up in contact. Khatikas goes deep in the breaker zone. Happy Meal trying to defend for his life, but he can't quite do so. The contact, and he's in a spin. You know what? We saw that coming miles away, didn't we? I don't think. You know what? Sometimes you've got to learn to give up because there is no way you're going to defend when you're on much older tyres. I know he's a fighter, but you've got to think about it from pragmatically. You can't afford to be tangled up. Oh! Talk about tangled up. Eastbound almost got tangled up with the Williams and Lucas there. Fighting for his life as well, the exit of turn 2. But yeah, Happy Meal needs to learn his lessons sometimes, and unfortunately has to face the harsh reality, and he's retired too. But he'll learn. He's a young driver. When I was his age, I did the same. Well, I never league raced, but when I was 14, 15, 16, I was a bit aggressive as well. Going for moves I shouldn't be going for. A bit too ambitious. Made some robust moves, robust defences as well. Some crazy decisions. And what's this Sauber doing down in P13? He's slowing down for some reason. What's going on there for the kick Sauber? I think he's waiting. You know what? He's going for the fastest lap, isn't he? And I think he's waiting for DRS off the back of Kevin to go for the fastest lap. So quite smart there from the kick Sauber to go for that. Obviously he's not going to take him out because he'll be a ghosted car. But here comes Eric at the back of Fireblaze, and here comes Khatikas on Fireblaze too. Now Khatikas needs to play this smart in the end safely. He knows he's on much better tyres. So don't go for any risky moves unless you can make it fully without making contact. He's in a good position to get a podium now. Unlikely to get a podium too, because he was on older hardcore powered tyres in the second stint. He had no chance to be back at the podium with his tyre being a bit older than the other people around him. Now he's on newer tyres, he's back in a position, and now hunting down Fireblaze, hunting down Eric. First target is Fireblaze. He goes side by side with him as we head down towards the back straight we go, or second straight. He completes the overtake up into P3. Next target is Eric, which should be a walk in the park for the Red Bull driver. The big question is though, can he pull away? Because yes, it's easy to overtake the drivers ahead of him on newer tyres, but essentially it is difficult to pull away, especially when you have the DRS with the guys at the back if you're chasing you down as well. So once he makes the overtake, does he have the raw pace to just pull away and leave those guys in the dust? We're all getting bunched up, we're getting super close. Could be a massive continual effect going down towards turn 11 and turn 12. And now on towards the back straight we go with the 1.9, 1.2 kilometre straight, or 1.2 mile straight, shall I say, with the DRS wide open as Eric is leading the car of chains right behind him. One of them's Khatikas. Here he comes with the DRS wide open. Eric goes defense for the inside, making Khatikas go all the way around the outside. Contact in the wall as well for good measure. Luckily, just as narrowly escapes. The Fireflies go side by side with his old rival as Miles Mackis almost spun the car as well for good measure. Just in between, wrong place at the wrong time, puts his nose in the place where it shouldn't be. And now Khatikas is on the back of Eric as we head down in towards turn one. Eric once again goes defensive, so the Dutchman is not giving up, but Khatikas gets a much better exit, and now side by side with Eric, should have the better grip around the outside on those hardcore power tyres as get mighty close there. Khatikas just pushed the wall, and now he's up into P2. Very, very risky indeed. Another yellow flag down there. What's going on with the kick salver? Did he make a mistake? Did he get the fastest up the Grand Prix? He should do, ideally, but he locks up. Has he broke his wing? Yes, he has. He's broke his wing, so unfortunately for him, his race is going bad to worse, and he can't pick up that fastest up of the race. Look at this battle. Here comes Eric back on Khatikas. So Khatikas unable to pull away despite the new hardcore power tyres. Miles Mackis is up into P5 ahead of Fireblaze. Those two trading places. Fireblaze, of course, on the other hardcore power tyres, so he's defenseless. And Kick out of nowhere. Kick is back here, and he could be on course for a podium. This is going to be such an epic comeback drive. The resurgence of Kick, and now goes around the outside into towards turn one. Can he make a double overtake? Not quite. He's side by side with Eric. Has the inside line going in towards turn three. Such super move from Kick as he revs the car out in third gear, but he gets up into P2 despite liking out. The pole sitter is back into P2. Mega overtake. Some sensational battles going on here in Las Vegas, and Kick is back on the podium despite dropping backwards and nowhere to be seen in this race. What a comeback drive, what a resurgence, what a story. The redemption drive, the redemption arc is on. But not over yet though, because there's another dose of DRS on the Las Vegas Strip. There is 2 laps left to go in this Grand Prix. The battle for the podium has not been concluded just yet, because here comes Eric on the back of Kick. Eric's fighting for his life to stay on the podium because he's got Miles back as well behind on new hardcore power tyres. Eric though, you've got to give respect because he's done a mega job under such fanatic pressure, immense, intense pressure with the guys on new hardcore power tyres. He's been defending. He's been on the back foot ever since that safety car restart, and he's put his life on the line to defend. But can he do it for one final time here in Las Vegas? This has been a spectacular race here in Vegas, and it's not done just yet. It hasn't finished by a milestone. We've still got to decipher to see who is going to be the podium for the final spot. Eric is struggling. Here comes Miles Mackis on the back of him with the DRS wide open. He's side by side with the Alpine as we head down towards turn 4. Miles Mackis squeezed against the wall. Barely a car's width there between Eric and Kick, but luckily no contact to the wall. Eric is desperately trying to defend, but crucially he needs to stay in DRS range if he wants any chance to try and get the podium. If he has no DRS, that means Miles Mackis will fly past on new hards and also on the spot. Eric hasn't got the DRS, so most likely he'll be dropping down the order like a stone with Miles Mackis on the back of him. And this could be the end of Eric's podium. What a shame for Eric. He deserves the podium, but unfortunately the safety car came at the wrong time, whilst other people pitted behind him as well. We've got some DRS games, some mind games going on here. Watch out for this, because this could get hectic going down towards turn 14. Now the boat with the DRS wide open on the back of Miles Mackis. Miles Mackis defending. Here comes Eric on the inside. It's a move back up into third place. Here comes Fireblaze 2. He overtakes Miles Mackis and he moves up into P4. Eric, clever DRS games as he double locks up going towards turn 12. But Kevin Zumberg Here comes the mighty Dutchman to win the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Last to first. What a mega drive from Kevin Zumberg. Sensational drive. Eric, a kick up into P2. What a sensational drive for him as well, despite lagging out. And Eric, well done, Eric. What a mega podium, mate. Superb, fantastic. Should we do podium interviews? Why not? Could do podium interviews. Just like last season, Kevin Zumberg has won the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Kick in P2, Eric in P3. Got to give respect to Eric. A bit of mind games going on there. Played it smart. At least they kept it clean, because it could have gone terribly wrong indeed if there's any sort of contact. But well done. I want to do podium interviews with the Dutchies. Kevin Zumberg, Eric and Kick have been invited to the party. I want to speak to them. We don't really do podium interviews here, do we? We don't really do podium interviews here in SDN, do we? But Kevin Zumberg has been nothing short of phenomenal this season, and tonight's performance is the perfect embodiment of why he's been the standout driver of the championship. Starting from last place, he turned what has been damaged limitation into a masterclass in racecraft strategy and raw pace. The ultimate strategy was bold, but Kevin made it work with absolute precision, stretched his tyres, managed his pace, and then pounced in the moment the safety car handed him from the perfect window. From there, he showed exactly why he's taken the most wins this season: relentless speed, flawless consistency, and the confidence to attack every single opportunity. Whether it's qualifying, pace, race management, or wheel-to-wheel combat, Kevin has repeatedly proven why he's operating on a different level, and this combat drive is yet another statement to why he's been the man to beat this year. And he has won the Las Vegas Grand Prix. But the man in second place has joined the party.
Hallo mate.
Hallo mate, hoe gaat het?
Ja, met mij gaat het goed. Met jou?
Het zit goed, dankjewel. Gefeliciteerd on second place, mate. So talk us through, because you were the pole sitter, and what an absolute shame, because you lagged out before the race started and you lagged out once again. But mate, you should be very happy. I know you're going to be disappointed.
I had 3 disconnected, and yeah, great comeback. I was happy with the second stint on the hards. And move by move, I was in P2, so I'm happy. I did a double overtake on Erik and Geitenkaas, so yeah, nice drive. Disappointed with the disconnect, but yeah, it is what it is.
You came out of nowhere.
I'm happy.
Sorry, you came out of nowhere, literally, like on the last 2 laps, because you were nowhere to be seen, of course. But
yeah, true.
How did it feel? Did you think you were the podium after the safety car came out?
Nah, there was a chance, but not for a podium, I think. I was happy that there was battles on track, so I can move forward, but yeah, not what I expected after the 3 disconnects I had. So I'm happy.
How intense was those battles? Because there was a mighty battle from P2 down to P6, mixture on newer and hard compound tyres. So how stressful was it to try and fight for the podium?
It was stressful, but Erik has not the best tyres, I think. I don't know if he pitted, but he was very slow, so he stopped the rest. Yeah, it was lucky this time, but yeah. I don't know. It was a great comeback, but I don't know how many drivers pitted with the safety car. Not much. Or you saw it or not?
Yeah, about 4 or 5 people pitted onto the new hardcore tyres. I think 3 or 4 people stayed out on the old hardcore tyres. So like even split really. Like
Yeah,
4 or 5
okay.
people. But mate, there is one more race left to go, which is the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, and you yourself are in a fight for the championship for P2 between yourself, Lucas, and Fireblaze. And with that standout drive, and you could have lost the chance for P2 in the Drivers' Championship today, but you managed to gain every single opportunity, and you made a leap for your teammate Lucas as well. Do you think you could end the season on a high and finish P2 in the championship?
There's a chance. We will see in next week. I think. Abu Dhabi.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, we will see. I hope we can take the the championship for constructors. So yeah, I hope we can win next week the title, and I think Kevin is fast. Yeah, he's fast. He's a fast driver. I'm not like him, but yeah, I'm happy with P2 after this bullshit race for me. To be disconnected, but yeah.
So congratulations, mate. And one last question before you go:
Sure.
Who do you think is going to win the championship on Sunday?
Max.
Can you
Max
give the
Verstappen.
reasons why?
Yeah, I supported him 9 years, I think now, and yeah, I think he will win. He 4 titles now, and yeah, we will see if McLaren, if Piastri not go slow down for Norris, if he is in P2 and Norris P4, then Max will win. But I don't know what Zach has said to the driver, so we will see. But there is I think 40% chance that Max can win. But Lando is also quick, but he needs to make a mistake, so Max can win. But yeah, we will see. And what think you?
I think. Right,
What do you think?
There's a couple of ways. So basically, if it's a boring, plain sailing race, Lando Norris. But I think that let me try and think.
Yeah.
So it could be Oscar Piastri if Norris and Verstappen take each other out. But if Verstappen's going to play some games, some tactics, if McLaren bottle the strategy, then possibly. Just wait, Kevin. Kevin, please wait because I'm talking to Kicks. I will join the VC Discord, don't worry. But I think that Norris going to win. But in the back of my mind, I think Verstappen could do it because Norris could bottle the strategy, could fumble under pressure, and the strategy would go totally wrong. I think Mercedes could get involved as well. I think Verstappen could do a 2016 Lewis Hamilton type shit by backing the pack up and probably allowing Mercedes to get close or something. But if Norris keeps composed, if he just thinks about finishing the top 3, then it should be well. It could be an easy one-stop like last season. McLaren have got the pace around Abu Dhabi. They should ideally win. But if Norris fumbles the championship, it'd be the biggest bottle ever, the biggest championship fumble I've ever seen. But I hope Max Verstappen wins it. But I think Lando Norris will win.
Piastri bottled as well very hard.
Yeah.
The last races, so.
Yeah, bottled.
Yeah, it's Norris or Max, I think. One of these two. But I like them also. It doesn't matter, but I'm a little bit more a Max fan, so I hope Max can win the title, but we will see.
Kevin, I'm coming. But thank you, Kik.
Oh.
Thank you very much, Kik. I've got to go to Kevin now, so goed gedaan vandaag. Ik spreek je later. Tot ziens, jongen.
Tot ziens. Later.
Doei.
Yo.
Alright, let me join this Discord server. Sorry about that, Kevin. Just be patient, my friend. Alright, hello everyone. Hello Kevin Zumberg. How are you doing, mate? Yeah, niet slecht. congratulations on the win, mate. And to be honest with you, I wasn't expecting you to win the Grand Prix because it seemed like it's just too much of a ask. It's like a tall order. The gap was like 9 seconds before you pitted onto the 70 compound tyres with that lucky safety car. You got to admit, it was a lucky safety car, but you did an excellent job executing the moves with some brilliant, fantastic moves on both Eric and Fireblazing towards turn 1. Talk us through, mate, your race. What was going through your head? Kev, unfortunately we can't hear you, mate. It's, there's something to do with like Discord and like when it comes to streaming. Can you potentially join back the lobby and we speak in game chat and do it that way? If I can send you it. Oh. Oh, yeah, that works. See you, Misha. Hopefully now you can hear Kevin Zumberg. Make sure your voice is to share as well, Kevin, just in case you haven't got that second setting allocated. But Kevin Zumberg, congratulations on a sensational win and a true championship drive as well, making you through the field like light work, overtaking your rivals, double overtaking towards turn 1 Eric and Fireblaze. What was going through your head during the race?
Yeah, Does my sound terrible right now?
Keep talking, I'll let you know.
Okay. So yeah, I was basically just having some fun vibing to music, to be honest, in the race. I thought the hard medium strategy from the back would work quite well, and it did. Even I know the safety car was a little bit lucky, and it was an easy race from there. But even then, on the hards, the gap was 9.5 seconds before I boxed, so I probably would have come about 5 or 6 seconds behind the train, and even then it would have been pretty easy to make my way back off the field and have at least a fight for the win. Would have probably not broken away on DRS, but even then, when you are in the lead on this game, you can pretty easily make a gap in Sector 2 and then bring your whole battery in Sector 3 and you will be fine. So it was easier because of the safety car, but even then, I think the win was still on.
It's your 9th win of the season, and including a couple of sprint races, you won as well last season here in Las Vegas as well. And this is a good track for you, you say as well. You set a blistering lap time before you decided to disqualify yourself, and I thought you said that you could have easily gone. I thought it was a bit of a tall order because the pit lane deficit loss around here is quite huge, like over 20 seconds. So the gap was like between you and Eric was like 9 seconds. So do you think that you had the confidence to try and catch up and overtake him, even if without the safety car coming out?
Yeah, for sure, because the pit lane is, I think it's 18 seconds or something, or 17. So the gap to the back of the train would have been 5 or 6 seconds. So I've done more laps the first around Vegas, and I've had bigger gaps and still won. So I was pretty confident in myself, even without the safety car. The win was definitely on.
And are you going to be racing here in Abu Dhabi next week, mate?
It depends if it is short qualifying, yes or not, because right now I'm doing WR Tier 1 as well, and that starts at 8 you guys' time. So if it is full quali, I won't make it into this lobby. So it really depends if it is full qualifying or short qualifying, if I will race Abu Dhabi.
And talk about Abu Dhabi as well. What's your predictions this weekend on Sunday? Who do you think is going to be the world champion? Max Verstappen, Lando Norris, or Oscar Piastri?
Well, I want it to be Max Verstappen. Would have been a great storyline and everything around his comeback. But realistically, Norris shouldn't lose this. That is basically the point. The gap is still too big. I think if it was if he didn't overtake Kimi last race, it would have been more of a chance because he would have needed at least a P2. But you gotta hope on Mercedes and Ferrari to be in the mix and be quick. That's the only chance Verstappen has, but realistically, you have to say Norris.
Yeah, I was speaking to Kick about this, and he's hoping Max Verstappen, and he thinks Verstappen as well, I think he said. But I agree with you there as well. I want as a Brit, I want Max Verstappen. Most Brits, actually want Verstappen to win the championship. They talk about British brightest on Sky Sports F1, but most Brits here, or most Brits I know, and some friends I know, actually want Verstappen to win the championship. So not all British people are against Max Verstappen. We do love him. I'm not really a big fan, but I do respect him. That's the major thing. Like, I can appreciate how talented and skillful, and how a driver his caliber he's a generational talent, if that makes sense. And he's a driver of a talent that you'll never see again. And I don't think that people appreciate Max Verstappen enough. They only talk about the bad things like Max Verstappen, like all those years ago, but people don't realise he outperforms the car, he always delivers, and he's a true racer, a true talent, and one of the best drivers on the Formula 1 grid, no doubt about it. And anybody who says otherwise is delusional. That's coming from me as well, a neutral Sebastian. I'm a Sebastian Vettel fan, not a Max Verstappen fan. But I was hoping Verstappen would win the championship, his 5th championship in a row. That's not been done by anybody, I don't think, a 5th championship in a row for a long time. Of course,
Schumacher was the last.
Yeah, Schumacher was the last with 5 championships in a row, and Hamilton with 7 championships, but he's not won them in a row because of Nico Rosberg taking that in 2016. But do you think, I'm sorry to keep you here, Kevin, but I haven't spoken to you for a long time. Do you think that Verstappen could do a Lewis Hamilton back in 2016 and hold the pack up and therefore get the Mercedes boys involved? Because realistically, everything should go to plan for Norris if you don't fumble the strategy or fumble it himself, if that makes sense.
If Verstappen is leading and Norris is in P2 or even P3, of course he will. He has to try something. Like, you will do everything to try and win the championship, and everyone would do that. But yeah, you're heavily reliant on George Russell, Kimi, and Leclerc to try and get them to the mix. But yeah, we will see, and at least I hope it won't be a boring flag to first for Norris and the whole anticlimax, but I think everyone would like a comeback story from Verstappen, the underdog. But we'll see.
Exactly, it'll be one of the most deserved champions. Do you know what? I dare say, if any of them win, obviously, like the top 3, if they win it, they deserve it. But obviously, a lot of mistakes have been made in the process as well. Like Lando Norris should have had this championship wrapped up ages ago before Las Vegas. But obviously, he had that double disqualification from McLaren, and also had that strategy blunder from McLaren themselves. So this championship should have been wrapped up. And Verstappen's comeback arc has been absolutely impeccable, because bringing down a 104-point deficit towards Zandvoort's Oscar Piastri to be 4 points ahead of him now is just absolutely insane. I don't think any other driver would have done it. Lewis Hamilton did it against Rosberg when he had a 43-point deficit towards Rosberg at the Spanish Grand Prix when he took it all down and got him close range, and it was only 3 points behind the championship by 5 points as well between Rosberg and Hamilton back in 2016. Hamilton had a blowout in 2016 as well in Malaysia, could have won the championship, should have done, but unfortunately didn't. But all 3 drivers have had their fair shares of mistakes, well, Piastri mostly, with that down, unfortunately just lose performances, and had that spiral of bad performances after Zandvoort, which was quite strange and odd. Then Lando Norris himself made mistakes as well. Canada is one of them. But Max Verstappen himself made mistakes back in Spain. That's a huge costly one indeed. But it's all if buts and whats. But championships won every single race of the season, not just one. And that's what we need to all focus on. It's easy to say that, Verstappen should have done that in Spain or whatever. Austria is another example where you got to take out like Kimi Antonelli. There's all sorts of factors that go into what makes a championship. But Kevin, I'm sorry to keep you waiting, but it was nice to talk to you for the first time since Lelystad, and a pleasure to meet you as well. And good luck in WOR. Congratulations on the win today, mate. Superb job.
Yeah, we're now in qualifying, so I would have to go now as well. So
yeah, I'll let you concentrate. It's a pleasure to talk to you in success, young.
Thank you, mate. See you.
Right, guys, that was it for a nice long interview with Kevin Zumberg. He has left the party right now, but we'll see you all for Abu Dhabi next week on Friday for the final race of the season and Formula 1 itself, the final race ends in the Middle East. See you all later. Goodbye for now. Tot ziens, jongens.